Okay.
Now we are.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right. So, welcome, Sightseers. Today we are interviewing Miss Apocalypse Mom.
Hello, everyone.
She is heard about often, but never found on my streams. So today is a cool and unique day in history.
Yeah, mark it on the calendar.
American Sightseeing history. That's not true. She has appeared in one of my other blogs, and that was about our bags.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in this same apartment, because this is the only Sightsee Plus that I do on location.
Not
the
true.
Interviews.
Oh, I was going to say, because you did Dad's interview at his house, too.
I'm doing Josie's interview at her house, too.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully tonight, if I can talk her into it.
Okay.
Around the puppy bowl, because puppy bowl. Okay.
She actually wants to watch the game.
I want to watch the game. It's all anybody's going to talk about at work tomorrow, and I'm not going to know what happened. Okay. So we've got some questions.
Okay, the first one is, does Puppy Bowl actually go as long as the game itself? Okay, cool. All right. I don't know.
I mean, it didn't used to. It might.
I don't know. I don't sports ball, so.
Okay, so the game is like, depending on how you watch it, 3 to 4 to 8 hours.
Okay.
But Puppy Bowl used to be just a halftime show.
Right. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But Josie said Puppy Bowl kickoff was at 3, and I know regular kickoff is at 3.
Okay. All right.
Because I know that, because I get my children back at 6 or 7 after Izzy's.
Oh, okay.
Izzy's taking all the kids to Izzy's.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
super awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, damn it. And he asked me, my ex-husband, asked me what I was doing for Super Bowl, and I said, I'm going to go to Josie's house and watch the Puppy Bowl. He went, I'd rather watch the game. I know.
If it makes you feel any better, it's my understanding from Izzy, Wayne maybe, and Will maybe the only ones actually watching the game.
Wayne will be the only one watching the game. Wayne doesn't care about that game either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, William does. William's
Yeah.
very into the game right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So while I'm doing interviews, I touch my face a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed in any of my streams, I touch my face a lot.
Yep. And you say a lot too.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a subconscious reaction because I know someone's watching me,
Oh, okay.
even when there's not anybody watching me. This is why Tim goes, let's just record on your phone 24/7. I'm like, no.
That is not going to help.
It's not helping me at all. It just makes me paranoid 24/7. Thank you.
Okay.
So I rub my hands together. I'm really fidgety on. So if I'm distracting you, you let me know.
Cool. I will be fidgety as well, but that's
Cool.
just because I don't sit still well in the one place for too long.
Right.
It hurts.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start questions.
Cool.
Do you have anything to say first?
It's going to be a fun ride.
All right. What is your favorite story that you've ever heard about yourself?
You know, the only one that comes to mind, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's fun, but at the time it was, kind of, because I was young and drunk, and so it was okay, is the story where Dad and I were at the event, and we were like...
It's going to be empty when I get back.
Hobbling along, going back to camp, and we had to stop at the Biffy's porta potties, and he wanted me to hold his mug. He asked me to hold his mug, and I said sure, but it's going to be empty when you get it back. Or no.
He said, hey,
Yeah.
you want to hold it for me?
Yeah. And I said sure. That's right. It'll be empty when you get it back. Yeah, and like, as with most things in my life, I answer those questions hardly ever noticing the double meaning that is there.
Yeah.
Until somebody goes, hey, Vonna, do you know how that story sounded? Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's got to be... See, my favorite story is the Vonna doesn't know story.
Well, here's the... well, yes, I guess now I do know the story behind the Vonna doesn't know. But obviously I didn't know at the time.
My favorite part about that story is not actually the events around the Shvana doesn't know, it is like 12 years later when the joke just kept going and kept going and kept going, and Vonna was finally like, "What don't I know? What are you talking about?" And I had to tell her the story, and she was like, "How would I not know?" That's my favorite part.
See, again, me not knowing the double
12
meaning.
years later. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right. What is your favorite word?
Gomoyo.
Moyo. Which means?
It's a Korean. It's a form of thank you.
What is your least favorite word?
What did I put down here? What was my thought? Oh, parent.
I accept that. I like that.
Mm.
Would you like to explain?
You know, when I originally thought of this, I think I had this nice little concise thing to say. Having rougher days right now, so I guess my parents, neither one of them were as functional or as available as I needed, and so I struggle with my ability to be a parent as well. So parents, just, I guess because of that, a negative word to me.
Mm-hmm. Completely. What turns you on? Now, when I say what turns you on, I don't necessarily mean sexually. I mean, what brings you the most joy? What brings light to you?
What makes me
turns
happy?
you on?
Yeah. A great production. That's what I wrote.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and what I mean by that is the right story. So, silly thing that's happened since then. I invested in a Kickstarter a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And recently got an email. They're struggling to put through all the promises that they wanted. So they wanted to offer refunds because for technical reasons they couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the stuff, and it's like everybody's complaining about how they didn't get this and they didn't get that, and I'm like, well, cool, but you were investing money to help a movie get produced and a message to be sent out. I don't understand why you're freaking out, but okay. It's not like you bought something really.
Right, investments are a risk for a reason.
Yeah. So I messaged them and I went, hey, I got this part of my thing, but I didn't get this part, and I don't really care about getting my part. I just wanted you to know I looked at the comments and I thought they were ugly, and I want you to know somebody cares about what you do, so, you know, please keep making more films. So he wrote back to me and made me cry, and he's like, you know, I really appreciate your comments, and I want to go ahead and refund you anyway. Thank you for all your understanding. Without people like you, I couldn't continue making films. And so it was actually the producer of the film.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice.
See, gonna cry again. So.
Oh,
yeah.
That's just gonna happen throughout the whole
Yeah,
thing.
throughout
We're
the
both
whole
gonna
thing.
cry.
Yeah.
This will not be like the Stiven thing where we all sat and laughed and hit each other. No. This is gonna be a. It's okay. That's how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Josie and I will laugh and joke, and none of it will make sense to anyone else. But this, we're all gonna cry. It's fine. I'm gonna cry. She's gonna cry. You're gonna cry. Is how it works. All right. What turns you off?
What turns me off? What did I write on here? Oh, violence for shock value or entertainment.
Yeah. All right. I can see that.
I don't know that I need to explain that, but
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, lots of people tell me, oh no, it was just in good fun. No. It's not in good fun. If you have to be violent to have fun, you're doing it wrong.
I even struggle with the idea of like the America's Funniest Home Video things, and you know, the kid whatever is going down the hill and he blops and hurts himself.
And everybody's ha ha ha, that was so funny.
That was so funny, and I don't think that was funny. And
Yeah.
I was told by the person I said that to, is like, well, they wouldn't show it if the person got really hurt. I'm like, that doesn't matter.
You can always tell, and I hate to be this person, but you can always tell who has trauma and who acknowledges their trauma and who doesn't acknowledge their trauma by how disturbed they are by those films.
Okay.
So Tim, my husband, is very that kind of guy. He's super toxic at times. And so he'll watch videos where people fall off things, like the American Ninja Warrior. He laughs when they fall into the water.
Right.
The wipeout thing, so they fall off the course. He thinks that's super, super funny. And I go, God, that must be so embarrassing. How do you watch that and be okay with it? But he can't watch America's Funny Home Videos. He cannot watch things where children are hurt. Because then he's like, why is that parent laughing? Why are you not checking on your kid? Sure, after you know the kid's fine, okay, that might have been funny, but why would you not drop the camera and run to that child's aid? Oh my God, so we can't watch it. He becomes insanely incensed. And then it affects the whole day. That's,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I find that those people who have trauma involving children or around their own childhood can't find those things funny. But people who have been raised, like Wayne, to do the, oh no, it's funny when your parents slap you upside the head for no reason. And that's not really trauma, that's just, locker room humor. I find that they tend to go, oh no, it's funny because that's supposed to be funny. Yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
I'm gonna guess at what I put here, and then we'll see. Okay, yeah, my daughter's voice.
Yeah, okay. Your daughter's voice makes me happy too. What sound or noise do you hate?
Forgive me, everybody. Most musical instruments.
Yeah, all right.
But that's not like a personal thing. That's a physical response, and so.
Yeah. I have discovered at work this week that there's a lovely lady that sits beside me, and she has a very alto speaking voice. And she is constantly, Cat, what am I doing? Cat, what am I doing? Cat, what am I doing? And this really weird spot right inside my ear has started to burn. It's not my eardrum. It's nothing that should actually make any sense, but it's literally just the ring inside my ear burns when she speaks.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, that's good.
Lovely.
I'm supposed to be on the phones all day. I could not have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your least favorite musical instrument?
Probably, I don't know exactly what they call it. It's used in country music a lot, especially the older country music. It's like a laying down guitar thing, because it hits these really high-pitched, twangy
It
notes.
might be actually the lap harp.
Okay.
William has 3.
Well, and okay, so it's electric. I think that because I've heard lap harps that aren't electric, and
right,
so
because the non-electric ones hit more of an alto tune.
right.
But with the electric, you can get a higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same principle.
Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
What did I say? I'm curious. Obviously, I wrote these answers a couple of weeks ago. Aish!
Aish! Which means?
I don't know exactly. I use it kind of in replacement for shit.
It is Korean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. As I understand it, it is the Korean version of, well, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't really use fecal matter as a swear word, so this is more of a exclamation than anything. I like that. What is your favorite happy word?
Your favorite happy word? Koinonia.
Which means?
Which means, gosh, and I should have looked it up again. It's a Greek word. It's kind of like community, togetherness of people.
Nice.
So
Nice. It means commune. Because we're giant hippies. That's how world works. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
What did I write? Let's see. Movie production. Oh, gee, there's a... Yeah.
Right? Like I'm so shocked. All right, movie
Yeah.
production. What
Yeah.
type of movie?
I've got a lot of different ideas, and we've talked before about different ones, because we watch things and totally could do that better. But I think something that involves actors that don't commonly get roles. So, like say somebody's in a wheelchair, I want an actor in that role who's actually in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
All right. What profession would you not like to do?
Customer service.
I love customers.
And I'm glad you do. But I did customer service in various ways for most of my career, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not me.
It is hard. It is hard.
Yeah, it helps if you're an it person,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not an it person. So if you have an it personality, then it's so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
what inspires you?
what inspires me? Look, that one I have to look at. So my health.
All right.
I put my health at the time. It inspires me to do better. But I think now I kind of want to change the answer and say my daughter.
Yeah.
Because, as I've said before, I don't think I was the greatest parent, and yet she still loves me. She still wants to be around me, and I know a lot of that's just my self-talk. She's told me so.
Yeah. It helps that other people's kids tell you that too.
But she's doing things in her life that, she's doing things in her life that I never would have been able to do. She's doing things in her life now that even 5 years before she wouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like she walks into those things and those things are easy, because she tells me how she struggles and how hard those things are, but she keeps going, and that's where the inspiration is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's an inspiration to most people I know. That's a fact. That's a fact. What disappoints you?
What disappoints me? Let's see what I wrote, because I want to be fair to the world. Yeah, that hasn't changed. Those who give up without trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if you stumble along the way. We're all going to make mistakes. But if you give up without trying because it's too hard, then that,
Yeah.
I don't do well with that.
Or, I can't do that because it would be too hard. I'm not even going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People who tell me they can't take certain classes in college because they don't already know the subject matter.
I thought the point of the class, or going to a class.
Well, yeah, but if they don't already know the subject matter, they just won't pass automatically.
Well, no, you won't. You won't know until you take. Okay, you're setting yourself up for disappointment
Right?
in your whole
God,
life.
it
If you
hurts.
cannot
It
enter
hurts.
situations where you might fail, you're not even being fair to yourself.
Yeah, no,
You're living
it's
such
terrible.
a sheltered life.
And that's not how he was raised. Okay, that was a whole other subject. I'm sorry. I derailed for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What motivates you?
What motivates me? My health. I put my health again. Because I've lost people in the last few years, all younger than me,
Mm-hmm.
to medical conditions very similar to what I have. In fact, I think in a lot of ways mine's worse with my heart than what theirs diagnoses-wise was. But
Mhm. It's a matter of choosing to take care of it or not.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I am there.
Mhm.
What depresses you? What unmotivates you? It's really what the question should be, but I couldn't figure out how to word that correctly.
I put my mind. I would also put my health again, only because since then, in order to take care of pretty much all of my health issues, which the list is just too long to go into here, I have to
That's
live.
another video, and it's coming.
I have to live a very strict, almost monk-like life, and I have to say no to a lot of things that I'd really like to do, and
Coachella. Sorry.
do not bring up Coachella. That's
I'm
okay.
very bitter.
That's okay. I'm bitter too. So
I am more bitter since he showed up at the Trailblazer game that I could have gone to. Like, had the opportunity to go to. That's why I was so mad when you posted it. I was like, I could have been there! And I turned them down because I don't watch basketball. And if I had known, I'd have gone and been the worst stalker ever. Ever.
I'm actually really proud of the Blazers. A few years back, Jay Park went to a basketball game. Didn't even like sit anywhere special, was at the basketball game, but somebody recognized him, took a picture, posted it on the NBA like Facebook, Twitter, something, and the backlash of who was this random Asian person. Okay,
Right.
I'm saying it nicely.
Yeah.
And so I've seen what the ugliness could have been. And I'm so glad that it wasn't.
So, one of the girls in my class, her other job, because she's working two of them, is wait staff at one of the restaurants in the Moda Center.
Okay.
Because the Moda Center has this building here where the actual arena is, and then there's this strip mall of restaurants and shops.
Okay.
And if you have a celebrity coming, they go to this restaurant before the show every time. That's just how it works.
Okay.
And that's where you have the meet and greets and the whatevers.
Right.
And he was there.
Okay.
And I was so disappointed in American anything at this point.
Okay.
Because I was like, then your favorite K-pop star goes to a basketball game you were supposed to go to and you missed it because you're a bad stalker. We were line ticker badge pictures. And she goes, oh yeah, that's G-Dragon, right? I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, she was totally at this restaurant, and like she totally had this meet and greet. I'm like, G-Dragon's a male. Oh no. Like, I saw him. I saw her. Yeah. Seen him in concert a couple of times. Kind of obsessed. G-Dragon's a male. Part of Big Bang. Oh, isn't that a girls group? Have you seen Big Bang?
Bring it down. I live in an apartment. I understand now.
When the instructor comes out and goes, classes are still happening. Sorry. I'm sorry. She looks at the woman and goes, Big Bang is an all-male group. One of them is 6'4". His name is Top. And I was like, oh. I love my instructor.
Knows. Somebody knows.
I was like, I have the action figure. She's like, the one with the microphone? I'm like, yes. I got it for my birthday. She's like, oh my god. And the rest of the class sat there and looked at us like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. So,
I'm really torn on this. I don't know exactly what G-Dragon looked like that day, other than the picture.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much. But he is effeminate by American standards.
So you're saying I've spent too much time watching Asian things, and so therefore I see the masculine.
He didn't have 1,000 women around him. All of his staff are guys.
So?
He didn't have women fawning all over him, therefore he had to be female, right? No, she's terrible. She's from Hawaii, and I know she's from Hawaii because she tells us all 6 times a day. 6 times a day.
I don't. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be and say negative things. So
It was really hard to have the conversation with her.
what
Because
it
she
was,
just makes assumptions, and then you go, no, this. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but you're wrong, and she's like, no, I'm not.
right.
Okay.
So here's the thing. When G-Dragon is one of these people that, like, he pushes envelopes,
Mhm.
not only with his music. He goes to Fashion Week a lot.
Uh-huh.
And so when he goes, inevitably, every year there is some, what do they call it, article put out about, oh, look, and there's a picture of him, and then a picture of a female model
Mm-hmm.
in the same jacket or the same
Outfit or
bag
whatever.
or whatever. He never wears a whole outfit usually. Usually
Yeah.
it's the jacket or something else. So,
Because he goes, that looks good on that person, and it'll fit my frame.
right,
That's
gender doesn't
it's
like
not
enter
a big
that.
deal. Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Well, and this becomes the problem, that her view on life,
mhm,
she's very skewed, because she
Mhm.
talked about Hawaii, and she
Mhm.
talked about how she was from Kauai.
mhm.
No, I'm sorry. She is from Oahu,
Mhm.
which is the main island.
Okay.
And I was like, Hawaii is the main island, it's the big island. No, Oahu's the important one.
Okay.
Can you name all 7 islands for me?
Mhm.
Well, no, there's Kauai, Oahu, and Hawaii. It's all that's important. Okay, if you live on Hawaii, you know all 7 islands.
Mhm.
That's how it works. Also, stop it. And I was like, yeah, my mom's family has land on Kauai.
Mhm.
You know, she's like, all that's on Kauai is farms. Yep,
Right.
my mom's family's farmers. They actually have a horse ranch. Well, everybody has relatives who live in Hawaii. I mean, that's what I hear. It's like being a Native American princess.
To my knowledge, I don't have anybody living in Hawaii.
Right?
But
I was like, yeah, so part Samoan. Hence the giant shoulders. Like, giant shoulders. Nod to the back of my head. Bridge. Bridge. I'm part Samoan. Oh, I wouldn't have seen that.
okay.
Well, I'm a foot taller than you. And I look like a linebacker with breasts. So, okay, cool. Go, woman. I don't care. Evidently, only the people from Hawaii are important. She's a
Okay.
terrible person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got derailed. I apologize. We should continue.
Okay. I was worried about me derailing this process.
I don't have a lot of outlets right now.
Neither do I, so it's okay.
Oh.
I get it.
What is the hardest part? What has been the hardest part of your life to this moment?
Every time I choose me.
Oh, God, that's a terrible thing. Isn't that a terrible thing?
Because I'm selfish, I'm a bitch, I'm questioning whether I'm being too selfish or if I'm setting healthy boundaries and doing what I need to do for me, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that a lot. Like, with my job,
Mhm.
I am in a continual argument about whether or not I take 4 10s or 5 8s. Because 5 8s is healthier for me,
Mhm.
and it's better for my house.
Right.
But 4 10s makes me available to everybody else. And not just you,
Right.
everybody else.
Right.
And I'm like, but it makes everything harder. And if I choose 5 8s, then I'm being a selfish bitch. And putting myself first, and that's horrible. And Tim's like, no, it's not. Do what's healthy.
Well, on the other side of that, just wondering, having that, it seemed like when you went to 4 10s, having that extra day was actually making a lot of difference.
It would if I were able to set the boundary and go, that's still my day.
Okay.
That becomes the problem.
Okay.
Is if I have 4 10s, then I have this extra day out there that's a weekday for me to run everybody else's errands.
Okay.
And I struggle with going, no, I need to run mine. I need to have a day for me. I took yesterday off.
Okay, right.
And I literally did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled the whole day to do nothing. Like, people kept going, hey, I need this done. And I was like, well, I've got my car and I'm home.
Right.
No.
I tried to take a day off earlier this week because I really needed it. A lot of stuff going on in my life. So I'm like, I even like, I'm gonna like put myself kind of in a place to just be me. No, I wasn't out here, I was in the bedroom. So some darkness, some music, I'm gonna help myself like just kind of meditate. And I'm like, I don't know, 10 minutes into it, and my phone rings and I look at it and it's Daryl. I never get a phone call from Daryl. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what happened?
Oh, God.
What happened? Answer the phone, Vaughn. So I answer the phone. Hey, Auntie. So I need some help with some electrical at the store. I need Wayne's number. That's it? Well, yeah, you should have gotten like a text from Paul, but you know, you didn't respond. I'm like, I never got a text, but okay. So let's do this. But there was this weird, I mean, I was okay, but like when you psych yourself up for that, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, no, totally.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, so today is February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday should have been a ritual day.
Okay.
And it is the first fertility festival of the year.
Okay.
I don't do these.
Okay.
I have had my tubes tied, and I still won't do a fertility ritual. It's not happening.
Right.
Leah's doing one.
Okay.
And she started asking me a bunch of questions. Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do this? Do I do that? And I'm texting her back and forth, and she keeps going, can I call? Can I come over? Can I? I'm like, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You can text me, and that's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to spend a full 8 hours doing nothing, literally sitting on my recliner playing video games for 8 hours, just doing what I wanted to do. Right?
I don't remember the last time that happened. I'm like, no.
And then half an hour before Tim got home, I got up and did a little laundry.
Okay.
And I was like, damn it.
Congratulations.
It was really hard.
Right.
Like,
that's a goal for some of
God,
us.
it was terrible. And the whole day I kept going, oh my God, I'm so selfish. How do I just sit here and do nothing?
Yeah.
And it was terrible because I came home the night before, Friday night, and I would say Taryn and Leah were amazing. We were supposed to get together with Ethan and play Inside Seat Gamer. And I came home and my migraine was so bad that I walked in the door and Taryn went, well, I was going to go get Ethan, but maybe you should just call him. I didn't even say anything. I just walked in the door. He was like, hey, do you need help carrying stuff? And I handed my lunch bag. I'm like, can you unpack this into the couch or into the fridge? And he was like, maybe we should call Ethan and cancel tonight. And I was like, God, do I look that bad? And he was like, you're pale and you're shaking and I think you're about to throw up. And I'm like, no, yeah, okay. So I went and threw up. And then I sat down and he handed me some water and he took off my glasses and I didn't find them until this morning. He took off my glasses and he covered me up. That's not even true. He brought me my nightgown, covered me up, and was like, I'm going to go start your dishes. You change here. And I was like, okay. And at that point, my head hurt so bad after throwing up that I just didn't even acknowledge, like, Leah handed me a sleepy baby and went, will you hold this for a minute? And I went, sure. And the next thing I know, I'm rocking a sleeping child. And I pass out. Me and Ivy are asleep on the couch. I've got water next to me. I wake up to food. My dishes are done. Leah's cleaning my living room and playing video games. And I was like, what just happened? She's like, Ivy took a nap, thanks. I'm like, they took Tim to work. They brought Tim home from work.
Okay.
And then after Tim was home, he informed me that Taryn had cleaned my kitchen, cleaned my dining room, taken down my Christmas tree. Leah had straightened up my living room and let me sleep with Ivy for like 4 hours.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, holy crap.
Okay.
How do I deal with that? And then Taryn got up. That was Friday night. Taryn got up Saturday. Took Tim to work, brought Tim home.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally just sat in my house and did nothing for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was the most amazing experience ever. I woke up this morning and I was like, let's go. Woohoo!
Let's do the thing.
I'm refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
But people at work have been all, you need to sleep, you need to sleep, you need to sleep. And I'm like, no, I don't have that luxury. That's not a thing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I'm going to go to work Monday morning and be all, I spent 12 hours doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an accomplishment.
Yep.
But I feel terrible about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I walk through my house going, I should have done this, and I should have done this, and I should have done this, and trying to figure out how to work a 19-hour day today because I have this to do, and then I have to go to Josie's and do Puppy Bowl, and then I have to go home and do everything I didn't do yesterday.
Okay.
Which Tim tells me no, but
Okay. Are you doing a recording tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I have to ask you a question. Do you have art supplies here?
Some, depending on what you need.
Pipe cleaners.
No.
I have stuff at the Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Dang it.
Hate it when that happens.
I do. I hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I've got to do, like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some arts and crafts stuff that are going to be done while I talk about the fertility festival I should have done but didn't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I'm supposed to do tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm supposed to sleep and
Mhm.
get up and trust that Tim is going to clean the house tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
Okay. What's the next question?
Hardest part of your life. That's what we're still talking about.
Yeah.
So are you finding areas to carve out? This is why I actually went on this big spree.
Mm-hmm.
Are you finding areas to carve out time to just be you, time to set those ways to set those boundaries?
Yes. They haven't been easy. They haven't been popular. I am still working on it, but I'm not giving up,
Good.
I guess, is how I would say that.
Alright. Alright. What has been the easiest part of your life so far?
There's not an answer on the paper to this.
I know. It's the hardest question to answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're Steven.
Um,
Steven didn't even think about this question. He was like, marrying mom. Okay, thanks. That's
Thanks. How do I say it? Making choices about my life that I feel or felt at the time benefit my daughter.
Yeah, alright.
Though they were hard on me,
Unpopular with other people.
yeah, I don't look back with regret on those decisions because they were better for her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. When we were young,
Mm-hmm.
I questioned that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really until, like, I look back with a sober mind,
Mm-hmm.
because that made a whole lot of difference,
Mm-hmm.
and realized what benefits had been and how bad it would have been to add Heather into that
Mm-hmm.
craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And while you can look back on that now and
Mhm.
say that was the easiest, and I'm sure in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
this is better for
Mhm.
daughter, therefore
Mhm.
easy answer, but still, I've made those decisions
Mm-hmm.
where William is concerned. Not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Not ever easy. Just saying.
Well, okay, but that in itself should tell you how hard the rest of the decisions in my life have been.
No, completely. Completely. I get that. No, totally. Okay. What is the hardest thing about what you currently do?
It's lonely.
I accept that. I find that is an answer most of us give for that.
Mm-hmm.
We all live weirdly lonely lives, even when they're filled with other people.
Yeah.
What is the easiest thing about what you currently do?
Did I put something down for this, just out of curiosity? Oh, no. The easiest thing I would say is that making the decisions about doing something that's right for me, and this is going to seem so anti to what my answer was earlier, but so like getting on the exercise bike or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in pain a lot today. It's an easy decision to get on the exercise bike and do it anyway, because I know I'll feel better afterwards.
Right.
So.
It improves the general health and the general
Yeah.
overall everything.
Right.
All right. Weirdly, everybody thinks these just where the questions get easier, but it's not.
No. What?
What's your favorite animal?
This is like, I don't really have one. I mean, most people would go, oh, obviously it's a tortoise. But the tortoise, I don't know if you can even see it.
Yeah, you
yeah,
can.
Okay. But the tortoise is about, in this.
It's a totem. It's not necessarily your
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. Thank you for wording that for me. It's nice that somebody in the world speaks the Book of Fauna. It's a tough dictionary.
It is a tough dictionary.
So I'd say I have lots of animals that I like Wayne's cat, my actual tortoise. There's a few humans that are, great. Humans are also, I don't know. I think once again that goes to my views of the world or something. I really think as far as animals go, it really depends on the situation and what we're talking about, because every animal can fit a different situation,
I'm working on getting Jay put on my lease as my emotional support person.
Okay.
My management company said it might be possible. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Hell, if that's the case.
Right?
Yes, I need to get me one of those.
Yeah. I tell people she's my emotional support pixie.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite person?
I looked simply because I wanted to see what I wrote. My daughter. And that's not to be unfair to any of the other people I love, because I love
totally.
But for a lot, her and I against the world,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I hope she watches this, because we miss you and you don't call enough. All right. I mean, you don't call me at all, but whatever. I know, you don't have to call me. I get that. But Snapchat, damn it.
I got Snapchat yesterday.
I know, I did too. To be fair, I did too. It was in her story. I didn't get a personal one, but I read her story. And that's not something I get all the time either.
Right.
So,
if
heaven exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people expect that it does, and I do not. But I have my own versions. It's a thing. If you want to know about my versions, you have to ask, and then you do that on SideSeat Plus or sideseatwebs.com. .webs.com. Always plug this stuff. Okay. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah. What happy memories will you cherish forever?
The road trip to Idaho with Heather. We went for my sister's wedding, and that was kind of rough.
Oh God.
That was kind of rough, but
I really hope she invites us to the next one.
I don't know.
I really want to go.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. She is engaged again, but she is saying that she's going to stay engaged for a while.
Oh, that's good.
So, they're taking it slow. So I'm proud of her for that. But the road trip, Heather's, and this, I didn't even own a smartphone at the time, so me and frames of references here were bad. But Heather had probably an iPhone of some sort, because that's what she tends to own. And so her GPS on her phone, I think we called it Cashmere.
Cashmere.
And she was fussy, and in the end, there was a lot of times where I wouldn't say we got lost in the desert, because Heather always knew where she were. She told me where we were. She told me so, and we did make it back to Oregon on the way back. But it was great because it was her and I in a car alone with just, being able to just talk. I wish I'd had more confidence in myself at the time, but yeah.
All right. All right. What is your proudest moment?
Graduating high school.
Okay.
Because my mother didn't, my father didn't, my sister didn't. Going back, my grandmother on my mother's side, I mean,
Right.
it seems like nothing today to say that you graduated high school, but in my family, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I did do some college and like, vocational training and stuff like that after that, but once I hit that benchmark of graduating high school, it was like everything after that was, what did they say, butter? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. What is the hardest decision you've ever had to make?
Didn't we ask this already?
No.
Okay.
We've asked what the hardest part of your life was, not
Okay.
what the hardest decision you've had to make is.
Again, my daughter. So I was not married to my daughter's dad. In fact, we weren't even in a relationship. He is somebody that I knew, like his sister was my best friend in high school kind of thing. And so I hung out with his family. When I came back from college, I moved in with his mom because that was safer and healthier for me. And that's how close I was to the family.
Right.
So it happened one night. And look, we have a baby.
Yeah, it's my favorite story to tell the people. People are like, but she's on birth control and I use condoms. Okay, let me tell you a story about this girl named Heather.
So, looking back on it, I mean, at the time, I didn't want to be my mother. And I didn't want to force anybody to be, like, beholden to me because, so I was going to take care of my baby myself if I was going to do that. Honestly, my plan was to give her up for adoption because I knew that I was going to be a crap parent.
Having no
and-
examples to actually pull from.
Yeah, so then my mother and my stepmother took me to dinner and informed me that if I tried to give my daughter up for adoption, or my child, because I didn't know at the
Yeah.
time, if I tried to give my child up for adoption, that they would fight for custody.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still very much under the thumb, and I
Yeah.
still very much didn't think I had rights.
Right.
And they scared me.
Yeah.
And I figured at least I would fight harder to be better than they did.
Yeah.
So I kept her, and I don't regret it. So, yeah, that was the hardest decision, not because I didn't want her, because I didn't want to be a bad parent.
Yeah. Very few of us want to give our children the lives we had. That's. Yeah.
Okay, breathe. See, we told you.
We warned you. Okay. What's your biggest regret?
Getting married. I was able to escape. Make it sound like I was in a cult or something,
You
but
are. It's fine.
but it's the same mind frame, really. I went out to college in Illinois, to Bible college. I was going to be a teacher, and what I didn't know is that at the time is that either I couldn't function without someone telling me what to do, and the reality was I just couldn't function.
Right.
Once I was out. And so I made dumb decisions and married someone out there, and we were married for a couple of years, and it was bad in a lot of ways. Not that he was I wouldn't necessarily say he was abusive. He was selfish.
Narcissistic.
Yeah. And I also, she's eating.
Yeah.
Can you smell?
No, just the lettuce moved.
Okay.
And I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
And then if I look just over the edge, you can see your shell.
So that's HSP. I can smell the lettuce because it's being crunched on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's also a nice video.
But anyway, so I was unhealthy too because of my mental health issues. And so all around, it was a bad idea for both of us. And when I wanted to, try to be more independent and do my own thing, he's like, so does that mean, so you want a divorce? And I was like, I guess, is that what that means? Because I was still in a place where, and I'm thankful for it now, in a way.
Thank God he suggested.
That, we got the divorce because he said we should.
Yeah.
So, but I'm thankful for the divorce.
So say, do you ever have, nightmares that you're just stuck there forever?
No, because at the time, weirdly at the time, it was nice because he had 4 other siblings, and I got along really well with them. In fact, I got along too well with one of his brothers because we would hang out and talk, and his mother had a conversation with him about the fact that he and his brother and I talked a lot too much, and so they were concerned that I would sleep with the other brother. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, no.
All right, then. That's how that works, evidently.
Well, and I not to be totally disparaging against Catholicism, however, this is one of the places where, I mean, women are
Original sin.
Yeah, women will just always be that, and yeah.
Plus, you haven't been in that area for 6 generations, therefore you're an outsider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, and you're a West Coaster, and we're all whores out here, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure
that's a
thing.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not, but that's an assumption people
Mhm.
make.
Yeah.
What would make you happiest right now?
Sadly, eating out, which is really bad.
Evidently, we're going to Popeyes.
Yeah. Being able to stop the racing thoughts when I want to. That's what
Yeah.
would make me happiest.
Oh God, that would be amazing.
Mhm.
A quiet brain.
Mhm.
What does that sound like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for younger people?
Choose what you love. As far as like,
Everything.
well, everything, but especially because of the way that our world works, so much of your adult life is going to be centered around whatever your job is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to affect everything you do outside of that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be harder possibly, but choose something you love, and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
And when I was graduating from high school, everybody said, "Go to college, go to college, go to college." And all those many years ago, that really was the answer. I don't believe that's the answer today.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're going to get education after high school, you should go to a trade school. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Follow your heart.
yeah.
I have to say, I had this exact conversation at work on
Mhm.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, one of the girls in class, not the girl from Hawaii, or the one that makes my ears burn, the other one. She turned around, she looks at me, and she goes, "This is your 3rd time working here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why would you keep coming back to this place?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, it's not the pay, but you basically get your pick of shifts. They will bend over backwards to help you. They
Mm-hmm.
treat you like family, and that's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something to be said for answering the phone and having some woman freaking out because she can't call her daughter who's stationed overseas, and you fix that problem, and then you get to listen to them talk, and this woman cries at you."
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And tells you that you're her lifesaver, and you
Mhm.
fixed everything in her world because you reset her phone.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's super important, but I help people connect to their lives.
Right.
And I love it, and it's stupid, and I'm stupid good at it for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like weirdly natural to me, and it's not even like I'm actually working. I go to work and I tell people how to work, live their lives, and do their things, and then I come home and tell people how to live their lives and do their things. But one of them pays me for it, so weird. Plus they've offered me a bonus. Yeah.
I love that you said that behind your hand.
I've been writing about my mom's family this week because we're supposed to be taking notes in class, and I am so bored because I am literally 3 days ahead of everybody else who is a day behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3 days ahead of where our agenda should be, and everyone else in class is a day behind. So I've got 3 chapters into a new story.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's, the essay I wrote about Shar.
Okay.
So I picked up on that a little bit, and now it's about Dad.
Mhm.
And then I put that away and I started writing about Mom.
Mhm.
And it's not where I started. I have
Right.
this story I started for Nano,
Okay.
and it's called Alone in the Cold and the Dark.
Okay.
And it's a ghost story, because
Mhm.
I don't know how to write anything else. But it's about a woman who is the youngest of 6 children, whose mom got sick when she turned 16, and all the rest of the kids had already moved out of the house.
Okay.
So she stayed
Mhm.
in this big, giant, empty house with just her and her sick mother, whose illness is literally driving her crazy.
Mhm.
And she's now 26, so it was 10 full years before her mom died.
Mhm.
And now the siblings are going, well, this is what we're going to do with the house and everything in it. And she's going, oh, no, look at this ledger that I've kept of everything I've done for 10 years. This is mine.
Mhm.
And I started writing that, and what happens in those 3 days that it takes the family to gather,
Mhm.
you know, in this big, giant, empty house all by herself.
Right.
Where there's always been, for the last 10 years, the sounds of machinery, the sounds of
Mhm.
all this stuff, and the, you know,
Life.
all the sounds of dying, and now there's just nothing.
Mhm.
And she's just got 3 days to sit and think about her last wasted 10 years, and how she graduated high school basically on her own, and now what she's supposed to do, because she's not like she got to go to college.
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah. And that's where I started writing, and then I got really bitter, and I had to put that away, and I just started writing about my mom's family, and so there's a lot of talking behind my hands in the last couple days.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I'm not even conscious of it until somebody's like, why did you hide your mouth when you said that? And I'm like, damn it. Because I wrote about my mother.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. But lots of writing. I'll have to talk about that after the video. Which, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I keep derailing this interview. That's what happens when Vaughn and I spend time together. We never stay on one topic.
Right.
All right. What is the top or most important item on your bucket list? Stop that. My computer keeps going to sleep. It's terrible.
I have written here my burial plan. My mom didn't do a lot of things for me in life, and really Grandma helped her with this, but Mom died very slowly. And
Kind of the inspiration for my story.
but Grandma helped us set everything up before Mom passed. And I kind of want to do the same thing for Heather.
Mhm.
I want all of that to kind of be set in stone. This is what needs to happen. This is how it happens. And ideally it could even be paid for, although I don't see that happening. But I don't want to have to put that onto my daughter. Losing someone is hard enough, but then having to figure out
Mm-hmm.
is even harder.
Yeah, when Mom passed, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Like, I knew she wanted to be cremated. That's the
Yeah.
extent
Right.
of what, and Barbie Jetty. That's all I knew.
Right.
But there was nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What motivational statements or principles have you tried to live your life by?
Be the change you want to see in the world. And this is why I had the Bible out.
I knew there was a reason.
I'm gonna read it because I get nervous. It's not like I don't know it, but let me see. It's Matthew 25:40. Where is it here? I'm trying to do this without glasses. That's what I get. The king will reply, I tell you the truth. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me.
Yeah.
So.
What you do for the least of them, you do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. Those are basically just kind of the things I try to live by. It's hard because I've always been this selfless giving person. That's what people told me. I always did for others. But then to be functional, I had to learn boundaries and learn to say no and learn to do things for me.
Mm-hmm.
and finding that happy medium of still being this person, and yet, also being, I will take care of me. Yeah.
All right. So my bonus question, because usually I have 30 questions, but everybody I interview gets to add a question. That's the fun part. So Stuyven added a two-part question, because it's Stuyven and he gets to cheat. What is one thing you learned from your parents?
How not to be them.
That's a good answer. I like it a lot. I love Stuyven. Who is the most influential adult in your life?
Who was or is?
Was.
Who was? I'm going to say my stepdad, Lenny. One of the few adults in my life that I can say helped me, regardless of how things were going with him and my mom. In fact, they were never even married.
Right.
But I remember standing in line to go see Star Wars for the first time, and we were, halfway around the building. And when I graduated from high school, I hadn't seen him in several years, and Mom contacted him out of the blue and asked him to pay for my plane ticket to go out to Illinois to go to school. And he said, yeah, let's do it, even having not seen me. So, even though Illinois, in a sense, has a lot of negative, things about it, I still look at it as it was all a learning thing, and I wouldn't have had that without him. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What is the most important thing you learned from him?
It's funny. My answer, anyway, is going to be music. I'm really sad that I don't have those albums anymore, but from him I got albums like Yellow Brick Road, Elton John, Let It Be by the Beatles, and I learned music and the healing power of music.
It's all about the healing power of rock and roll.
I think it's probably part of why I survived my childhood.
That's important.
Yep.
All right, so now that I've closed this down, because I thought we were done, and I'm a total idiot. What's the one question I forgot?
See, I thought I was all ready for this, and I'm not. One question you forgot. Did you ask if you could do one thing different in your life, what it would be?
No. And your answer is?
Gosh, now I have to answer the question? It's funny that this question comes to mind, because I try to look at decisions, even the bad ones, as learning experiences. So if you hadn't done that,
who would you be today?
Who would you be today? Would you be that person? Part of me says, I guess what I'll say is, part of me says not getting married, and only because in getting married I stopped school. But that might have happened anyway, because I couldn't function. So, but maybe if I had melted down and not had the buffer of my ex-husband,
things would have been vastly different.
Things would have been vastly different. I would have, not that I'm ever going to be completely healed, but I probably would have been able to work faster and
Through
more
that
productively through my childhood trauma and the memories that were starting to flash back. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to spend 6 months in bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
All right.
And I'll think of something different after we get done.
Oh, of course, of course. That's how that'll work.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to finish this video now. Are you ready for that?
Yep.
Okay, so like, subscribe, push the button, hit the bell, tell your friends, spread the word, boost the signal, because you can't stop the signal, Mel. See, I'm not the only one. And we'll see you in the next video, which will probably be, I don't know, 4 hours from now, and then another one 4 hours after that, because evidently today's the day.
Yep.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Oh no. There we go. Thank you.